Hello everyone, welcome to your September Part 1 video scope on the energies running through the first half of this month. I'm Jean, I'm a soul and life coach, an intuitive, an astrologer, and I also work with channeling, and I do have a message for everybody at the end of this video that I went up in mind for input. But links to sessions with me, and of course, over on Patreon, where I'm doing monthly video scopes and exclusive consciousness content every month. So I hope everyone's well. We are entering an interesting time. Mercury is now transiting through Libra for an extended period of time through November 6th, because it will be retrograding on the 27th of September. But Venus is finishing out her transit of Libra, engaging with the beautiful and the relational and the heart energy. But on the 5th of September, she is squaring up to Pluto from 24 degrees of Libra to Capricorn. She is kind of the bellwether for this passage we'll be moving through, when the sun also joins Mercury and then Mars in Libra at the autumn equinox. So Venus squares Pluto, so this can be kicking up some heart energy issues. Pluto, of course, is in Capricorn, which is all about the shadow material and the deep transformational energy regarding systems on planet. So the 5th, you want to be aware that people can be feeling a little bit triggered. You might be as well. This can be bringing up some temporary issues with relationships, maybe finances, maybe those you work with. But on the 6th of September is another very nice lunation. We got over the new moon in August, which was tough on everyone. And this is bringing in fresh, outward, forward moving energy in Virgo. And Virgo it's a mutable feminine earth sign, which occupies the 6th house of the natural zodiac. And it focuses on all things work related, health related, pet related, and being of service. What Virgo is learning in this lifetime is the grounding of the human experience in very practical ways. And Virgo energy is when the body teaches you to respond correctly to any missteps. We know that our emotions are taking shape and form in body symptoms over time. And so this can be a very grounded time to take a look at how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis. Virgo is about your body, how you connect with the earth, how you move through your day in a functional way. It's extremely intuitive energy, Virgo. It's sensitive, but they sound just really logical about it. Matter-of-factly almost, but this is really just picking up on the energy fields and then bringing it into a logical fashion of expression. So this is going to be very useful. It's at 14 degrees of Virgo, and it's trining a retrograde Uranus now in Taurus. So at 14, 13 degrees. So this is a tight trine, helpful, flowing. It makes me think of earth medicine with Uranus and Taurus and Virgo, which is about the health on all levels, mentally, spiritually, physically. And this can be a very productive time if you need to get some things done, whether that be cleaning up the house, spiffing up the regime, tending to your pets, tending to your products, services, operational end of things. And Mars is also in trine to Pluto at this new moon, from 24 degrees of Virgo to Capricorn. So this is very earthy, grounded energy, functional, flowing. It's very good for work and for making things happen and finding the flow with that. Now, Venus was squaring Pluto on the 5th. Now she is trining Jupiter on the 6th at this new moon from 25 degrees of Libra to Aquarius. So this is mental acuity, conversation, social energy tied in with this new moon. And what she's doing is she's highlighting the elongated transit we'll all be going through. When Mercury retrogrades, it's going to be squaring Pluto 3 times through the first week of November and trining Jupiter 3 times through the first week of November. And I'll get a little bit more in depth into the meaning of this. When planets retrograde and they're making close aspects to other planets, they carry that energy or that theme or the plot line with it. Now, on the 10th of September, Venus scoots off into Scorpio. And Scorpio is the feminine water sign that rules the 8th house of the natural zodiac. It's a fixed sign. What do I mean by that? Words like, I know I'm right, I'm never changing my mind, do as I say, not as I do. It's stubborn or unwavering emotions and opinions drawn from the undercurrents around you. So Scorpio, its essence, when it comes on planet, the Scorpio sun sign, the moon, the ascendant rising, but we're all dancing with this Scorpio energy. So this is all about transformation and death and rebirth with your emotions, with your relationships, with your heart, with your finances. The lower energy of Scorpio is, again, that fixed energy. It's the drug addicts. The mob or the cartel is a perfect example of lower, unevolved Scorpio energy. So cartel, banking cartels, pharmaceutical cartels. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Anything, and Scorpio at the base level is all about money, greed, getting what you want, however you need to do that. But the energy up from that base Scorpio operating system is where you become aware of the energy around you, and you're just taking everything in and you're processing it, and it's informing your own life, your own mind, your own decisions. The next level up from that, there's 3 transformational levels in Scorpio that they're dealing with on this planet. The next one up is the phoenix rising from the ashes. And, this is people or situations where you're coming back from car accidents and crisis, and you transform even stronger than where you were before. And it's the regenerative process. There's several processes under the Scorpio's domain in this lifetime. What also brings to mind is the prolific fires. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. On the West Coast, we have unprecedented amounts of fires burning, very Plutonian in a lot of ways, where your house is burned to the ground and you are literally in this regenerative transformational process. And Pluto through Capricorn is kicking up all of the shadow with the hierarchical systems on planet. And as you notice that, and how does that inform you? So it's transcending the lower nature, the base nature, or what I'll even call that reptilian energy that is on planet. We all have that in our own DNA. It is very functional in a lot of the hierarchical systems on planet. And this is where you're going in to tend to your own lower base nature that is in need of regeneration and transformation. Now, on the 14th of September, Mars heads into Libra until October 30th. And Mars through Libra is about, well, it's going to be kicking up anger energy, right? But if you don't grow towards balance, Libra, you live out your life in very imbalanced ways and have anger issues. And a lot of hidden anger is coming up and out. A lot of it being directed in ways that are not helpful, especially at others, other citizens, if you will. But when you learn to monitor yourself, you teach yourself to come back into balance. You can learn a lot through anger, which is often repressed, and the shadow side of things. But living continuously through anger is rough on the body, mind, and soul. So Mars through Libra, through the end of October, is going to be bringing up a lot of unfairness issues. And then as we get to the fall equinox on the 22nd, and I'll go more into depth in the next video, this is where Mercury is going to really be engaging, and Mercury is your mind. Mercury is your mind. It's what you're thinking, your inner narrative. And how to bring balance to that and more heart-based energy to that so you can live more whole and comfortably. Because remember, we are in a very Plutonian time on planet, and especially in the United States, as we're within degrees of that Pluto return exact in February 2022. It's going to be kicking up a lot of shadow, unresolved, unacknowledged trauma, anger issues in the collective energy. But Pluto is a transformative planet. Wherever it is transiting, it is bringing change, crisis, and enforced transformation. That would be a good label for this past year and a half or so. And again, thinking of the fire burning down things, because we need to build anew, we need to start anew. But when Scorpio reaches that higher octave, it has a fluidity with everything. And that takes us into the all is one energy. Humans are lovers at their base. The human being knows how to love and be inclusive. And the journey through planet Earth can be challenging that. Now, as I was going up to engage with my team that I work with every day with my clients, with my people over on Patreon and the live Q&A, this is what they brought in. And I hope you find this helpful to you. It's always in the highest form of love and compassion, because your guides know what this passage is about on planet. And they're saying, this is a time for recapturing the human heart. Forces have worked against this for some time, as control is easier when you create an ongoing paradigm of an us against them mentality. Notice the word mentality and the focus on mind and ego. Conversely, the heart carries its own energy signatures. When you align with your heart, it bypasses the fearful ego. And we need ego. It's a very action-oriented, moving us through our day and getting organized. We're not picking on the ego, but when ego leads is where the problem is. When the heart bypasses the fearful ego and raises your vibration, as the human soul's natural state is cooperation, creativity, and love, the awakening on planet continues to be driven by the awareness of heart and feels more clearly than the ego-based separation themes that are amplified through the media systems and the social structures. This head over heart imbalance is a dysfunctional, anti-human paradigm. Heart-based energy births life, deepening love, and personal meaning. This is the focus now. This is very much a part of the awakening and the ascension process. Yes, I see all that slimy, darker, heavier density energy over there, and I may grieve or I may get angry, but we need you to move through this and choose life and choose the heart. Humans need each other. We need relationship. We need connection. And actually, the human heart is singing when it's in cooperative experiences with others. So this Mercury retrograde is going to be pushing on the Pluto essence while pulling you up to the Jupiter in Aquarian essence of unity, following your heart, creating your own well-being, love, meaning, and purpose on this planet, regardless of all the junk going on over there. If you want to get out of balance, spend your day on social media and watching television. I'd like to be really out of balance today. I want to go swimming in the out of balance waters. That'll take you there really quickly. Virgo is also earth, nature, grounding, bathing yourself in the frequency of the earth fields, the telluric fields, the vibrational, the soul of the earth. That brings a strong balancing quality to all of the cyber realities that we're engaging with at different amounts during different times of the day. Much love to everybody, and I mean that. Be well, and I'll talk with you again soon.